This place is really, really cool, and if you get the opportunity to stop by, please do. I'm in heaven. Cameron, eat your heart out. So as you can see, since we're headed west, we've got the sun in our eyes. We are coming up to the Mississippi River very soon, within maybe 6-7 miles tops. And once we cross that, we'll be in Iowa and not far from our overnight destination. But in the meantime, I'm hoping to show you how pretty this is around here. There's a lot of land that has been tilled and is ready for planting if it hasn't been planted already. And there were several fields that had green growing, but I didn't know what kind of plants they were because you couldn't tell. They were just like little shoots coming out of the ground. So anyways, we're in a good spot right now. The sun's not the sun's not shining right at me. We're in a shady spot on the highway, but we are still there. We're still traveling, and we'll be at our overnight destination real soon. Enjoy the scenery.
So we spent the night here at the Cracker Barrel. We parked here. They have these other spaces over here that you can see that's safe for RV and bus, but we're a bit too long for those, so we opted to spend the night over here. And we just got barely enough room to get out. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parking spaces easily. And we probably need at least the 7th in order to be able to get out. So this would have been perfect over here, but there was a car parked right there last night, so it just wasn't quite long enough for us. But anyway, we had dinner at the Cracker Barrel last night, and that's about it. Right now we're getting ready to go to start the second leg of our journey to Scattered Joy Acres, and we should be there in about 6 hours. So we're on our way to Scattered Joy Acres. We've been on the road for roughly an hour now. Our next stop is going to be at a Love's, where we're going to refuel. And this will be our first stop at a Love's for fueling. We've been we've been going to the TA that's near our house. We're not sure what the price of diesel is going to be. The prices have been fairly regularly above $5 a gallon. We do have an EMS card that helps with that and gives us a reduced rate. I'll be checking out the prices to see if we're going to get that reduced. We're going to get a lower price at the Love's.
So last night we stayed at a Cracker Barrel in Davenport, Iowa, and we got there in enough time where we could give the girls their dinner and take them out, stretch their legs a little bit, let them go potty, and then still have time to have dinner ourselves. Now this particular Cracker Barrel, they close at 10 o'clock, so we had a leisurely dinner and still enough time to come back to the rave to relax a little bit. I want to say thank you, Cracker Barrel, for accommodating RVs and buses in your parking lots. It is so convenient and so wonderful that you do this. So thank you again. We enjoyed our stay in Davenport at the Cracker Barrel there. Thank you. So now we're on our way to the Scattered Joy Acres Harvest Host in Newport, Nebraska. And right now we're going through a section of I-80 that has a lot of those huge windmills. And the wind right now is pretty strong. It's pretty stiff because it's making the trees on the side of the roadway move and bend. So we slowed down a little bit so that we can keep control of the rave, and the roadway is a little bit bumpy because of the tar-filled cracks, but we are on our way again to Scattered Joy Acres, which is an animal rescue place, and we'll be bringing you more about that as we explore the location and whatnot. So we'll see you soon. This wind was blowing as we're traveling down the road. Since we left the TA, I've got a little companion in my lap. That's my old girl, Tippy. She's 13, and she really wanted to be in my lap since she knew I wasn't driving. So I let her up in my lap. And the baby, which is Isabel, or Izzy as we call her, she's 7, and she's happy and content in her bed underneath the dinette set, or the dining table. So, yep, got one mama's girl and the other one's pretty independent. So anyways, again, we are on our way to Scattered Joy Acres. They are our harvest host, and we are looking forward to staying there for one night. We'll bring you more from them when you next see me. follow the road down and around.
In 1/4 mile, arrive at 4966 Newport Avenue on the left.
Keep following the road around. Oh, wow. Yep, keep following the road around. This is a showdown because we can't turn around. Past the Jeep. And hang on here. But nope, we keep going straight.
This is the part I didn't know about.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh man. Down here it curves to the right and it's like on the left.
Yeah, they go out this way too.
Yeah, we do. Good Lord. Around this curve and it should be to the left. Jeep is good. And it is left here. Yep, there's Scattered Joy. There's the sign.
Which way do
wow.
we go in?
I'd say left because it's telling me left. Jeep is tight, but we got it.
Well, let's go on an adventure.
Ranch entrance. And we're good on this side. Got a culvert down in here. Parking area. Exit only, do not enter. So we gotta come down here. Wow. I would say take a left or take a right here. It looks like somebody is either coming to meet us.
Yep, I think so. I hope so.
Maybe not. Hard to say. Yep, he's coming up.
Afternoon. Thank you.
How long are you?
We're 34 feet the rig, and then we got another
Okay,
extra.
so I know where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
So basically, you can see it. I guess you really can't. We're going to go in, and you can see these two lines of cars going into the parking lot.
Okay.
You're going to come in. Oh yeah, you kind of can. See over the gray, the black pickup, and then the silver. Right here to the far right.
Right.
Okay, see the trash dumpster?
Yep.
You're going to park in between that trash dumpster and that green strip of grass. You'll see it when you come around.
Okay, so go down and come back around.
And swing back around, and then I'll point you.
Okay.
All right?
So if you haven't guessed it yet, we're here at Scattered Joy Acres. It looks really cool, but it is a bitch to get into.
Looks like the green.
Yep, Jeep is good. Jeep is good. Jeep is cleared.
Okay, so it looks like we're going in there.
Yeah, he's picking up the... Wow. It's gonna be tight, tight, tight. You can do it though. And we are next to the dumpster. Jeep is good. Jeep is good. And we are good. Just kind of do what you need to do to straighten her out.
And of course you can see it in the way you go out.
Yep.
Or, I mean, tomorrow morning when you get up, those cars won't be there, so you can do a bigger swing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
She doesn't open until noon. So you'll have a big area there to swing wider to go around that corner.
Sounds good. I should be able to make it over the bridge.
Go ahead, pull up a little more.
Let's ask if we can use his image because I could not get it out. Okay, Jeep looks kind of straight. Okay, we're good.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
How's that?
Is that can you pull up a little more because we got two more coming, and we may put one down this lane, so they
Okay.
may need some room behind you.
I'm just worried about. Oh, you say I can get up that way too? No.
Pardon?
I was just looking at the bridge. It's kind of.
You've already come over one just identical to it.
Yeah, I know I did.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the angles.
Oh, well, true, but you can back up and change the angle.
Yeah, I mean, I could.
We'd have to unhook.
Yeah, we definitely have to unhook. It's hard to back up with this thing. It's just-
He's looking at something.
Well, if you need to back up, go ahead. If you need to, go ahead.
It's kind of like
Wherever you're comfortable with your angle.
he said, whatever's comfortable with the angle.
We'd have to do it together. I have to hold the wheel on the Jeep or it'll turn. The wheels will turn because of the tow bar.
Hey everybody, so we have arrived at Scattered Joy Acres. And honestly, it's a really cool place, but it's a bitch to get down to here. There is some overgrowth. We did scrape the side of the wraith a little bit with some branches of trees and whatnot. And it is a dirt road. You might think that you're going the wrong way, but I kept telling Mike, yo, nope, keep going straight, keep going straight. We got a little bit more to go. And it's a tight turn. We're 34 feet in length and we're towing a Jeep. So it was kind of a tight turn to get into here, but we made it. I think this Jeep scraped up a little bit on the side of some of the bushes coming in.
But it's a Jeep. So.
But it's a Jeep, so it can take it. So we are here. It looks cool. The gentleman who escorted us in said that there are 2 more RVs coming in. So we're the first one to get here. We'll probably be the first one to leave in the morning. And it's going to be very interesting because we've got a little culvert that we went over. And we'll go on the other side where a second culvert is. And it's going to be some sharp turning. So it's going to be interesting. But really, it looks so cool down here. We're going to explore more. We'll let you know more about this place. And I think we're going to like it, except for the fact that it's a little tight. Anyways, we'll see you in a bit. Bye. Forgot to mention, we are boondocking. There is no electricity, no water, and no sewer. So this is a boondocking site for Harvest Host, but it still looks like a really cool place. Aloha, everybody. Welcome to On Island Time. And today we are at a wonderful place located in urban, and I do mean urban or suburban, Omaha, Nebraska. And if you did not know about this place, I spoke to a woman who lived 5 minutes away, and she never knew about this place. And the place I'm talking about is Scatterjoy Acres.
Scatterjoy Acres. Oh, what a wonderful place. We had a super good time there. I can't begin to express the feeling that you get when you're there, the joy, the love, the the care that not only for the animals but for the people as well.
Hi.
Hello. So what you've got here is this creek, and so on the other side of this creek is probably about, this is 26 acres total, so that's probably 14 maybe or so, but the horses are out there. And I think there's 6 full-sized horses, 2 ponies, and 4 donkeys.
Okay.
And so there's a bridge to cross here where you can, okay, I hear them there, but there's also one over here. You can see the tail flick.
Oh yeah.
In between here and the creek.
Yeah, I see 2 of them.
And so the other bridge to cross is you keep going down this lane and it takes you to the playground. You keep going that way, and they'll come to a gate and a bridge. And so the horses are just somewhere out there.
Okay.
Go
Do
ahead.
you also have a gift shop as well?
Right there.
The little white house.
The little white house.
Yep.
Okay.
There's beehives out there. You probably go out there and see them, and they're just probably going crazy right now. But we just spun up some honey 2 weeks ago, and honey's in there if you're
Oh,
Sweet.
excellent, excellent.
you know, and it came from here.
Nice.
And then around here, did Joy tell you what animals are around here? Or?
She did.
Okay. So
Actually, it was you.
Maybe?
I believe.
Okay.
Because you told me about the kangaroos,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wallaby, and
Yep.
the porcupine,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
the zebra over
just,
here
just
somewhere.
Wander and enjoy.
Yeah,
Gonna do that, yes.
Okay.
that's what we're gonna do.
And can we use your image on our YouTube channel?
Sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, I have you on video
I saw
now.
that.
Oh yeah, because you can see you can see yourself on here.
You probably can.
I don't care. It's not about me. It's about Scatterjoy Acres.
Right.
Yep,
So-
it is,
right.
and it's greatly appreciated.
The basics is animals are rescued and they're used for animal assisted therapy for handicapped, disadvantaged, elderly, veterans, etc.
Nice.
So that's what you're supporting here.
This is a cool place. Once we got down
We got
down
off
the
scary
road,
But
got
when
off
you
the
think in the city, yeah, you're deep in the heart of Omaha.
yeah,
Yeah.
The house was built in 1900,
nice.
so it's old.
Yeah.
We can't say enough good things about it.
And thank you, Joy, for having such a wonderful place. And I agree with Mike. It is a Harvest Host location that if you've never been to a rehab place where you can go into any of the pens that, as far as they're open and do not have the sign staff only, you can go into any of the pens to pet the animals. I don't know of a place like that outside of Scatterjoy. Joy has done just a marvelous job nurturing that place, rescuing animals, rehabilitating animals that is used for various help with people in the community. I just cannot say enough about this place. I love Scatterjoy, and if you ever have the opportunity to go, you will understand why as well, and you will fall in love with Scatter Joy.
Now, we did an interview with Joy while we were there, and I'm going to link that up here. I think it's going to be up here in this location.
Bing!
Right here.
Bing!
So that'll take you to a link to you can actually watch the interview that we did with Joy. We got to feed the emus when we were there for that interview, and we just had a blast.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And actually, one of the emus caught my finger. Oh, ow! You know, and what was really, it was more of a surprise to me than it was a hurt of any kind, because the inside of the beak of an emu has like these little ridges, and they're not real sharp, but they're not real dull either. And it was more of a surprise when my finger ended up in his beak or her beak than anything else. But it was so much fun feeding them.
Yeah, and I was behind the camera, and so I got to watch everything as it was unfolding, and it looked like a lot of fun. I kind of wish that I had some grapes to feed them.
So Mike is going to talk about the road in.
Yeah, the road in is very unusual. It's kind of unexpected when you get to, you're going down city streets, neighborhoods, and the road in was a dirt road, and very unusual. There's some sharp turns there, and it was very narrow. And did I say it was dirt?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a dirt road. Had a little bit on the bumpy side.
A lot of bit on the bumpy side.
Yeah. And if you're going in with a small car or something like that, you'll have no problem whatsoever.
But you cannot do 35 down the hill.
No, absolutely not. You will not want to be doing 35 down that hill. We ran into another person that wanted to come out that way, and we had to move over quite a bit in order to make the room for them to pass. We found out later that if Scatter Joy knows when you're coming in, they will hold traffic from going that way for you to make sure that you have a clear path to get in. We did not that day, so we had to move over, and we kind of scratched the side of the RV a little bit, scuffed it up with the branches from the trees that line the entire path down.
It's more like a lot of bit, not a little bit, but a lot of bit, in my opinion.
I think it'll rub out, so I think we'll be fine.
He's being optimistic. I am not so sure, but anyways.
So when we got down to the bottom of the hill and started pulling into the parking lot area, there was somebody right there that came right up to greet us.
Meet us?
Yep, I think so. I hope so.
Maybe not. Hard to say. Yep, he's coming up.
Afternoon. Thank you. And they were friendly. They were very helpful. They knew they were expecting us. They already had a site blocked off for us.
And we are next to the dumpster. Jeep is good. Jeep is good.
That we would fit into because they knew how long we were, and they guided us right in there, and they were so friendly and so helpful. It's almost I can't find fault with it, but it was just great to have that
Personalized.
Personalized, and it was a personalized level of comfort, because the parking lot is very narrow, so not knowing where to go exactly could cause a bit of stress, and that was all alleviated, and so we were very happy with that.
Yeah, and it was just nice. They were happy, they were upbeat, and from the moment you cross the bridge because there is a little bit of a, I think a little bit of a bridge that crosses a creek. From the moment you cross that bridge and past the gates, you just feel a difference in just the whole area. It's just full of happiness and joy and a peacefulness that is just undescribable.
Yeah, while we were there, it was really, really warm, and we wanted to walk around and explore. We wanted to do it without Tippy and Izzy, so we left them in the RV, and about a half hour into everything, we decided that we should probably go back because it was getting warmer. And we did that, and we started the generator up and let it run and ran the AC. It's kind of the first time that we've done that for an extended period. We actually ran the generator for several hours while we were there to keep things cool for them and to keep things cool for us. About the animals, there are a ton of animals that you can go, and any pen that is not marked as
Staff only,
you're allowed to go in. So we wandered around all over the place. We went down to the playground. We wandered around there. We went by the chickens.
Potbelly pigs.
Yeah, the potbelly pigs.
The land tortoises, kangaroos, the wallabies. We walked past all of them. We walked into a huge hill area that housed the beehive that they have there.
That was really cool because they had like 6 or like.
No, they had like a dozen.
Yeah, there was quite a few beehives, and we got some really good video of the bees activity around the hive.
And they were selling the honey from those hives at the entrance.
At the little gift shop that you can go into.
Which also doubles as the entrance to the paid part of Scatter Joy.
And then there's the exotics as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and when we went in, when we went to see the bees, we noticed that there was a hill, and so we climbed up the hill, and there was a fantastic little picnic area up there. It had benches and places to sit, and it had some donkeys that were rather friendly.
Hee-haw. They were very friendly. They were curious. They came up to us. They let us pet them. They sniffed at us, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they nibbled.
I didn't get nibbled at all.
I don't think I did either, but no. I know that donkeys can nibble at you, kind of like a horse that's kind of interested in just kind of nibbling you and kind of tasting you and seeing if you're edible. But yeah, there were donkeys up there. They were so cute. I know some people may not think donkeys as being cute, but they were wonderful animals. They were so gentle.
Yes, they were very gentle.
And very curious.
Mm-hmm.
While we were up there, there was a hayride that was going on because I believe there was a birthday party going on down there. And they do host birthday parties and little gatherings and I think corporate events too.
Yeah, they might. I didn't see anything about corporate events, but if they do, that would be great.
Yeah, it would be.
When we went back down the hill, that was when we went back over to the RV. We went through the horse pasture where the horses are at.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I noticed was there was some birdhouses up on a pole, and it looked like there were places for bats as well. And I didn't learn it until just recently, but I think that the birdhouses were for purple martins.
Oh, well, that would make sense because there were very few bugs around.
Yeah, there weren't that many bugs at all from what I could see. And that's what purple martins are good for, is that they eat a lot of the flying bugs.
Yeah, and so do bats. So
yeah.
There were no bats in the bat house. The bat house was empty.
So the highlight of our visit was Opie. That's a cutie.
Are you right or left-handed?
I am right-handed. Hi, how are you?
Oh, there's Opie! Oh, little Opie!
that what he's called? Opie?
Opie.
Oh,
Opie, like from
Opie.
Gomer Pyle. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, let me help you get it. And you're gonna shove it all the way in because he takes that whole nipple. There you go. Oh, come on, Opie.
There you go. Oh, okay, you're just being persnickety, aren't you?
You're gonna have
There
milk,
you go.
milk on your cameras.
That's okay.
That's right.
Okay.
Hold on just a
It cleans off.
Come on, baby.
They're actually waterproof. So.
Okay. Just a little. Come out just a little bit.
Oh, just a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Like there?
There we go.
Perfect.
There we got
Get
it.
you ready for your photo op there.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is so... I'm in heaven. Cameron, eat your heart out.
Opie's 2 weeks old.
2 weeks.
2 weeks out of Mama's touch.
Oh,
wow.
my. I wouldn't have guessed 2 weeks. Oh, you are a sweetheart. And is that all he does is eat and sleep?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
hop around a little bit, but yeah.
Aw,
Are you gonna help her, Gidget? You gonna lick the milk off of her?
Probably.
you can let the... My dogs do it all the time, even when there's nothing there. Oh, there you go. Now, who doesn't want to feed a Joey? You guys, this is a really cool place. Oh, yes. He was a 2-week-old baby kangaroo, or in what the zoologists call a baby Joey. And I had the opportunity to feed him and to hold him. And it was amazing. He was so well behaved, and Joy takes such good care of him, and she let me feed him and hold him. And
She didn't want to let him go.
I did not
You
want to
wanted to
let him
take him
go.
home.
I wanted to take him home, but I knew that that wasn't going to fly. But it still didn't stop me from loving him. He was just adorable.
Yeah, he was. I got to hold him for a little bit too as well.
I
Never
didn't
held
want
a kangaroo before, so that's a first for me.
I didn't want to give him up, but I thought Mike needed to have this experience besides myself, so I shared it with him.
Well, I appreciate it.
You're welcome, hon.
Oh, so what else did we see then? We saw some wallabies.
Which is like a cousin to the kangaroos. There were like 2 wallabies and 2 kangaroos in the same cage, but that same cage also housed 2 land turtles. And
yeah.
they were pretty active, and I believe that was featured in the previous film before.
Yeah, we'll have some more video of that as well. Then there was the zebras. We didn't see, there's 2 zebras.
2 zebras. One of them was the typical black and white that you see in regular zoos, but there was also a brown on brown, and I can't remember if they have a particular name like the Rothschild giraffes. But this particular brown on brown zebra, I think he was tired, or he was laying down like snoozing, and
Yeah.
the black and white was having a ball, munching away on a very late lunch, or maybe it was an early dinner.
Yeah, I think it was probably an early dinner because we didn't get there till after lunch. So
True.
yeah, and they have cows as well. I don't know if you'd expect cows at a rescue, but they do have them. They had some peacocks too, and I don't know if you know about peacocks, but peacocks are loud. They have a really loud call.
But yeah, they have very loud calls, and very early in the morning, it's not a rooster waking you up,
No, it's not.
even though there is a rooster there too.
Yeah. Well, also they had camels.
Oh
They
yeah,
had camels. Can you believe it? Camels.
2 of them. 2 camels. One was like a white camel, and one was like your typical brown camel. And yeah, I didn't expect to see a camel at an animal rescue. That was really kind of cool to see. And I didn't go into the camel cage so much. Did you?
No, I didn't.
And then also in the same area, there were llamas and alpaca. And there was one alpaca that he was curious, but he was a little standoffish. And every now and then we'd see him like take a step towards us, but then he'd stop and kind of look at us. And if we turned his way, he'd just turn around and just nonchalantly take a few steps away from us, like, oh yeah, okay, fine, I'll just show you my backside.
Well, the one time I thought he was going to come to me, but he ended up going right on by me, just like I wasn't there.
But they are beautiful animals.
Yeah, and then up in the exotics, we saw reindeer.
Yes, that was, wow, that's all I can say. Reindeer.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really amazing to see reindeer there. And we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but with the reindeer, there was another animal that we had never seen.
Ever.
And it kind of looks like an antelope, but it's not. It's big.
It's
as big as a horse.
It's huge. And hello.
Yeah, it is very big. You are. Yeah, it's a split hoof.
He or she was so gentle, came over and he or she allowed me to pet it. It's got like one big old horn going back towards its back.
There was two.
Oh, was there two? Oh yeah, you're right.
Had two.
There was two.
Yeah, they had two.
And the face was kind of long, much longer than a horse. I was in awe because it was such a magnificent creature and so beautiful and so curious and gentle, allowing me to pet it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and later that evening, I guess they let them out so that they could roam. There was a pasture that they roamed in, and we saw the reindeer running with this, what looked like an antelope. So it was really cool because it was leading the pack.
It was, because it was like twice the size of the reindeer. It was just, it was magnificent.
It was a beautiful animal. Beautiful animal.
And a sight that I don't think either one of us will ever forget.
If you know what kind of animal it is, please leave a comment in the section below. We really like comments. And if you don't comment, we don't know what you like and what you don't like. So please leave some comments. So you might be wondering what it's like to sleep at a harvest host.
Especially an animal rescue harvest host.
So it has its good points. One, we got a really good night's sleep. But
it was being awakened by the peacocks.
Yeah.
Really early in the morning.
Sunrise. Actually, it was a little bit before sunrise.
I was going to say, it was before sunrise.
It was before sunrise.
Which was
and
okay.
They're loud.
Yes.
Very loud.
Which was okay because we needed to get an early start towards our next destination, which was several hours away. But yeah, getting awakened by a peacock.
Definitely a new experience.
Definitely a new experience.
And speaking of new experiences, we made a new friend.
Yeah. We're still here at Scatterjoy Acres in Newport. I forgot where we're at, but we're in Nebraska. And we have a new friend that we'd like to introduce to you guys. Her name is Echo, and she's from Texas.
No, I'm a gypsy. I'm from, I don't know. I moved from Arizona to Washington, and then moved from Washington to Tulsa, and then I got to Tulsa and decided I didn't know where I wanted to be, so now I'm here today and South Dakota tomorrow.
And what's really fantastic about this lady, I hope you don't mind me saying this, this is her third day towing her little trailer. And you know what? I would not have thought it was her third day when she pulled in. And, well, maybe a little bit when you were backing up.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a journey.
It's a little scary when you're backing up and you don't have
terrifying.
anybody, you know, and you're listening to people trying to help you, but you don't know the nuances about, you know, if they tell me to turn right, or do they want me to turn my wheels right? Do they want the back end to swing right?
It's
know?
way too much to think about. It really is. It is. It's just too much.
It is.
But I'll get better, or I won't, and I'll just wreck it, and then I'll know what path I'm supposed to go into. I'm like the wind today. I don't know.
There is nothing wrong with that.
No.
And
life is
another
good.
cool thing about this lady that I learned is that she lived 30 years in Hawaii. Her kids, how many do you have?
3 daughters.
She has 3 daughters, and they were all born on Maui.
Technically, I kind of fibbed. My oldest daughter was born on the Big Island, but only because I got impatient when I was pregnant and got on an airplane. I lied about how far along I was, and my water broke in the airplane. So she was born on the Big Island.
Oh!
But the other 2 were scheduled on Maui.
How fun is that? And we were talking, she was watching our interview with Joy, and then afterwards we were talking about, you know, where was I from in the islands, and I let her know that my family history is Maui and Oahu, and there's other things too, but I mean, it's just too long to get into. And we just started talking. So, you know, you meet some really great people at campgrounds, KOAs, harvest hosts, Cracker Barrel if you're inclined to speak to them or not. But, you know, campers are all a great people. We're all very into each other, you know.
Helpful.
Very helpful, and we enjoy the camping life.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I'm learning. I'm learning to enjoy it.
And you said you're going back to Washington?
I hope to. Yes, I hope to. My path right now is South Dakota, Wyoming, down to Colorado. And if it's not too brutally hot in the summer, because I feel like this is a little foolish, I'll go through Arizona, California, Oregon, and then back home to Washington.
Nice. And she lives in Port Orchard, which I think she was a little surprised that I knew where it was
I was,
at.
because it's a nothing town. It's just a teeny tiny little town.
And, you know, we're going to end up in Seattle later, actually in about a week, I think.
Oh, exciting.
To see
Beautiful.
family. We're in Gig Harbor. We're staying there.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
you
right
know,
around the corner from
right
Port
around
Orchard.
the corner. So anyways, welcome to
Thank you.
the camping and RV world.
Thank you.
And enjoy your time. Enjoy your trips.
I will.
And
Thank you.
it was just so nice to meet you.
It was a
We're
pleasure
going to be
meeting
leaving
you both.
early in the morning.
Are you? Well,
Yeah.
safe travels.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you so
thank
much.
you for talking
Thank
with
you.
us. Aloha, guys. So until
Aloha.
next time, ride the wave. See you on Island Time. Yes. Hi, Echo. How are you?
Hi.
It was nice to meet you at Scattered Joy Acres. And we actually found, she and I actually have kind of some things in common. My family is from Maui in Hawaii, and she lived on Maui for like 30 years. And that was one of our connections. The second connection is, and please, I'm sorry, Echo, I forgot the name of the town. It's like Port something. I want to say Port Orchard or Port Townsend or some port on the Olympic Peninsula is where she's from. And she was surprised that I knew where she was from because my family currently lives in Seattle, and I grew up running around that whole area: Seattle, Tacoma, Gig Harbor, Bremerton, Port Angeles, Port Townsend. That whole area, I knew exactly where she was from when she told us where she was from. And just a great lady. It was her third day with a trailer that she had bought. And she was, I didn't realize that she was only a third day RVer. She had wanted to do this, and she can work remotely, so she decided to do it. And kudos to you. Kudos to you, Echo. I hope you're having a wonderful summer, and hopefully we'll see each other again.
Now it's time for the 3 things we like about Scatterjoy Acre.
And the 3 things we disliked about Scatterjoy.
And we have to be honest. The things that we dislike are not a negative about Scatterjoy. It was our experience only. It's not what you might have experienced.
Right, and it's not a negative reflection at all on Scatterjoy.
So, you want to take the first one?
No, I'll let you take the first one.
Okay, well, let's see. What are we going to do? 3 things we like first? Or 3 things we dislike?
Dislike, because dislike is always like...
Sure.
And like is always a good way to end.
Yes, I agree. So, the one thing that comes to mind is the very first thing that we talked about, and that's the drive-in. The drive-in is very, very narrow. It's downhill. There's curves, and it is bumpy. And
well, you won't be doing speed limit, I tell you that. You have to go slowly in and out to get in and out of these potholes.
Definitely take your time.
Yes.
So that's my first dislike.
Our second dislike, well, I was driving in, wasn't I?
No, I was.
You were driving in. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
Are you positive?
Yeah.
No, because I thought I was driving.
I was driving.
I think I was driving in. Anyways, our second dislike is... Stop. Our second dislike is the narrow exit across the bridge. I guess Mike didn't like it for some reason, so you might as well explain why.
Well, when they pulled us in, they kept moving us forward a little bit, and I was looking at the exit, which was kind of off to the right.
That bridge.
That bridge,
That bridge. Okay, there's like 2 bridges. We come in, if I can.
Yeah, the parking lot's broken in half.
Yes, and you come in, and you got to go through the what I'm going to call the upper half of the parking lot, which is the closest parking lot to the entrance building where you would go into Scatterjoy and pay your fee so that you can get into more animal pens and whatnot, shelters. And then you came around to what I'm calling the lower parking lot, where there's a couple of dumpsters, and that's where a lot of Scatterjoy overnighters will stay. And there's a small, very small, like creek, whatever you want to call it, a very small stream that meets up on the other side by the horse pen. And there's 2 bridges that go over this creek.
Yeah, and the bridges they're 1 car wide, so there's no extra room, and they're pretty short. So we were looking at how close we were to it, and how we would have to do a very sharp right, and then a sharp left. And it just did not look like it was something that we'd be able to do.
Towing the Jeep. Towing
the Jeep, yes. So we got 34 feet plus the other 8 feet of the Jeep. And so we decided to go ahead and try to make a U-E and then go around and then back out the way we came in. And
big mistake.
That didn't happen.
That's on me.
So we didn't make it, and so we had to back up. And if you've ever backed up when you're towing something, flat towing, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's nearly impossible to do. It's not impossible, not completely impossible, because we've done it now a couple times. What we have to do is she has to jump in the driver's seat if I was the one that was driving, and then I have to go back to the Jeep and make sure that I keep the steering wheel from turning, and it has to be pointed straight and direct towards the front. Can't vary at all. And then I have to guide her, and she has to maneuver like it was a trailer. It's not recommended that you do this for any extended period, backing up with flat towing. So if you do it, just know, I mean, typically you would have to disconnect, and then you could do all your maneuvering and then reconnect and then take off where you need to go. But anyways, we were able to back it up and get it to a good angle where we could get across the bridge. And once we did that, we were fine.
Yes. And you can talk about our last, or do you want me to?
That's your department.
Oh, the last thing that we disliked, or I should say I disliked, was I had to give baby Opie back.
My girls do that too.
Are you done? Are you done? Yep, probably. Good?
Oh, you are so sweet. Look at you.
So I'm gonna drop them in this cage. Set them in there.
All right, time for night-night. Oops.
And then you can just hold him. He'll pop his head out and you can hold him for a while.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome. I am in heaven. Oh, look at your feet. Your little feet are like... Hello, sweetheart. Aw. Aw.
He likes that.
Yes, he does. Hello. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh. Would Mama lick you and love on you? Huh? Are you gonna go to sleep? And he's got a diaper on.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
You're like, wait, is that kangaroo I smell? Kangaroo I smell. Oh, Mom.
You guys, look at him. He's in his little pouch where he feels nice and safe.
Mom, you don't even like birds.
Aw. 2 weeks old, folks. 2 weeks.
It's amazing. It's so big already. I know that they're in their the mother's pouch for quite a while.
Yep. And if I remember right, don't they like crawl? And she gives birth to them, and then they like crawl to the pouch.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
And he's so curious. He wants to see everything. Yes, you do. You are so precious. Yes, you are.
Mm.
And look at those little paws, I guess you call them.
Checking everything out.
He was, oh, my heart just soared holding that little baby and being able to feed him and just love on him. He was just precious, 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 precious. I can't say, I mean, I could sing those accolades all day long about this little baby kangaroo, and I didn't want to give him back, but I knew I had to. But it was so hard. Joy, you have no idea how hard it was for me to give him back.
Yeah, and she had baby Opie for quite a while. I sat with him for a good 20-30 minutes, I think it was.
Then I told him run away.
Right, and I went up and I went through all the exotics. I went through the pens, and I came back around and went through the gift shop, and she was still there, holding baby Opie. So, and then it was another good half hour before she gave her up.
Yeah, to give him up.
Him up, yeah.
To let
It was a him.
Mike hold him.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was that's our 3 dislikes.
Yes. Now, the 3 things we like. And,
You get to speak about the first one.
oh, okay. What I like is the mission of this animal rescue, the rehab of the animals, rescuing the animals from abuse, neglect, or whatever situation that causes them to have to be rescued. And the rehabilitation of those animals, and how the staff of Scatter Joy, they're all volunteers, and they're all there for their own reason, for their own healing. Animals are very healing. Joy mentioned that animals
Yeah,
do not
she did.
judge you, and they don't. They just want love, and they want to give you love, and they want to receive love. And her volunteers are all there on a journey, a healing journey of their own. And I just love that. I love that, because we all go through situations that can be very devastating. Mike and I may meet you someday, and we don't know your history. We don't know what you've been through. And people are so cruel to each other because they don't think about those things. They judge people by your look, your sexual orientation, your religion, your race, whatever. And people are very cruel, and they don't think about what another person has gone through. So here, that doesn't happen. That does not happen at all. The animals are rehabbed from their abusive situation, and they learn to help other people heal. People who are returning into society, for example, people who have been in jail, returning to society, helping them to learn how to reacclimate into society, and hopefully that these people will become better citizens than before, whatever it was that caused them to land in jail and be incarcerated forever, how long, as well as people or women, children, and even some men in abusive situations. These animals help people, and Joy gives back to the community in this way. And I think it's a great cause.
Yeah, I was very impressed, and I almost wish that we had asked Joy what Scattered Joy actually means and why she came up with the name. And I think it's when you scatter something, you spread it out, and it's in a much wider area than what it originally was. So I think that's probably the play on the name that she was looking for, to scatter joy throughout the area that they cover, and even beyond that.
Because if you scatter joy to one person or 5 people, and these 5 people go out and scatter joy to 5 other people, and it just keeps growing exponentially from there. That's my take on it.
Yeah, that's my take on it too. Another, I guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
What did I like about that? I thought it was fantastic that you could walk in almost all of the pens, and you could get up close and personal with the animals. You could pet them. I don't remember if you could actually feed them, but we did get to feed the ostriches.
Well, we did get to feed the emus and the ostriches, but I think it was because it was feeding time, and Joy wanted to give us this experience, which was fabulous and a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I don't remember seeing anything where you can buy specific foods for the animals, but you can go into the pens and you can pet
Yeah,
them if
all of
they
the
allow
pens.
you.
You can go in with the cows if you like too.
Yeah, if you want to.
Or the zebras I don't think we could go in.
Yeah.
Because the zebras can kick.
Yes.
That was the only one of the pens that I know of that were outside that we weren't allowed to go in. The exotic animals, of course you couldn't go in the pens with them.
Yeah. But other than that, it was
Yeah,
great.
it was pretty much access everywhere.
Is that it for your second like?
Yeah.
Okay. And so our my third like,
Yeah.
and I think Mike enjoyed this too.
Yeah.
It was, and I've said it once before, it was getting to feed and hold a 2-week-old baby kangaroo. I mean, what zoo can you go into and do something like that?
Yeah.
You
Baby
can't.
Opie. Baby Opie.
Baby Opie. And it was such a blessing to be able to do that, and it just filled my heart with so much love and joy. And I hope I have been able to scatter that joy since my visit there. But that's my third.
Okay. Well, that's about all that we have for Scattered Joy Acres.
Oh, there is one more, and I'm going to reiterate this because we did talk about this in our first video, that Scattered Joy is a nonprofit organization.
Oh, yeah. Very important to let them know that it is a nonprofit organization.
Very much so.
They depend on outside donations.
Yes.
And the services from the people that come there and volunteer to help.
Yes. And you can help them too if you order products from Amazon. Go to smile.amazon.com and choose Scattered Joy Acres as your choice to have Amazon donate 5% of your purchase will be sent to them. And I can't tell you how much I know Joy will appreciate it.
Yeah, they also have a website, scatteredjoyacres.org, and I'll put it in down below here if I got it wrong. So go by what's typed in here. We'll also link it in the description so that you can go to their website and check it out. They accept donations on their website. They also have a list of items that they need. So if you have, if you have a way to gift an item to them that's on their list, they would certainly appreciate that very much.
Yes, please check it out. I can't say enough about this wonderful place and the work that Joy is doing. All right, so until next time, ride the wave. See you on island time.
Bye.
Aloha. It's kind of like, and I'll probably get it wrong, but it's kind of like, ah! Maybe?
Something like that. My crazy wife.
Do, 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 do.